Welcome to the 16th and final Eliminator heat of Robot Wars Grand Champions. If you've been with us for the last 15 shows, you would have seen some major carnage and mayhem. Bots fighting to the death just to be able to make it on that semi-final board. Today is no different. You're gonna see 6 bots tussle, but only one's gonna survive. Who's it gonna be?
The arena is set to explode. 6 of the toughest fighting machines in the world are set to tear each other apart for that final spot in the semis. I'm your host, Joni, and this has already been the most exciting robot tournament ever. But that's what you'd expect, after all. This is Robot Wars Grand Champions. Let's let them loose.
All right, Joni, last time you would have seen Panic Attack show its dominance in the arena. And there he is, the 15th and second to last semi-finalist. So here's the showdown for today. We're gonna see VMAX up against Cerberus and Terrible. But first up, it's gonna be the Predator against Hypno-Disc and Raizer-Blade.
From Cambridge, Raizer-Blade.
Raizer-Blade, using a car brake hydraulic system for their lifting arm and spike. In at 175 pounds, he's got the usual electric motors. Let's see what they can do.
Hello, we're the Raizer-Blade team. I'm Paul, this is Steve, this is Howard. This is our robot. It's fitted with a hydraulically powered flipper, which runs at 2,400 pounds per square inch. It's driven by 2 24-volt electric motors. And we've replaced the chainsaw that we had on the back last year with a spike weapon to give us a bit more manoeuvrability and a bit more weight to play with. We're hoping to do well. If we get mullered by the house robots, we're happy with that as well.
From Banbury and seeded number 2, Hypno-Disc.
Hypno-Disc with shaft-driven wheels on him. He's got an aluminum shell, and if he doesn't do any damage, at least he might hypnotize you into losing.
I'm Dave, the team captain. This is Derek and our father Ken. This is our robot, Hypno-Disc, based on the same design as last Wars.
A number of improvements we made on the self-righting arm to get us back on our wheels, the much stronger teeth and far more powerful disc.
From Manchester, Predator.
Well, these guys are calling it Predator. It's probably more like Prey, or praying is what they ought to do, because they got 173 pounds and a lifting fork and spike, but it sure is ugly.
Hi, my name's Barry. This is Stephen. Behind me is Christopher. We are Team Predator. This is our robot, the Predator.
This is a front lifting ramp powered by CO2, and it's very speedy and very deadly.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Raizer-Blade with Paul Hart, Steve Scotcher, and Howard Andrews. And Hypno-Disc, Dave Rose, Derek Rose, and Ken Rose. And the Predator, Barry Willits, Christopher Willits, and Stephen Willits.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
I don't know, but Hypno-Disc looks like the one to beat in this round. Oh, and immediately Hypno-Disc shows the violent capability of that spinning wheel with those little teeth on the side, completely shredding the Predator just on touch. Wow, these guys want to stay out of the way of that Hypno-Disc. Maybe Predator's got a little strategy we didn't think about. Gonna lull them into a false sense of security by getting pummeled to death. Look at this pummeling. Incredible. Wow. Everything was breakaway on the Predator. Meanwhile, Raizer gets underneath Hypno-Disc again. As dominant as Hypno-Disc is, Raizer's got a lot of heart to stick in there. Hypno-Disc is a great design. Just look at that. Well, not much is gonna fly off a Raizer-Blade's design, which is more than I can say for the Predator, who's just getting dismantled. Wow, every replay has been something flying off the Predator. They are toast. Look at that thing, the poor kid. The battery sitting out in the middle of the arena, that could do some damage. Nothing like spraying the audience with some battery acid. And like all the other episodes, two can go through, and I wonder which two. No surprise there, the Predator's history. Hypno-Disc and Raizer-Blade go through. Next up after the break, Terrible, VMAX, and Cerberus. Welcome back to Robot Wars Grand Champions. If you just joined us, you'd have missed Hypno-Disc's powerful display. The Hypno-Disc and Raizer-Blade go through to the next round. Next up, VMAX, Cerberus, and Terrible.
From Ilkley in West Yorkshire, Terrible.
Terrible, the metallic bovine entry at 177 pounds. He's got a real strong aluminum outer shell, but no self-righting mechanism. If that cow gets flipped, he's out of there.
Hi, my name's John, this is Ben, and this is our robot Terrible. His main weapon is a lifting head which incorporates a tongue and two spiked horns, which lifts up that high and we can lift 100 kilos. And we're hoping to do a lot of damage.
From London, seed number 18, Cerberus.
Wasn't Cerberus supposed to guard the gates of hell? I don't know, but they got wall-to-wall titanium on this thing and gnashing fierce claws everywhere.
Hello, this is Cerberus, I'm Theo, this is Alex, and this is Vasso. This is our beautiful robot, Cerberus. As you can see, he's got a crushing jaw, he's got claws that slash, and round the back, we've got more slashing claws, and a nice big ram to rip for someone. And also, he's made of titanium.
From Romsey in Hampshire, VMAX.
VMAX with a familiar wedge-shaped design we come to know and love here in Robot Wars. He's got tubular steel frames, a pneumatic flipper, and he's slower than molasses in January.
Hello, I'm Mick Pearce, and I'm from Team Hampshire Hog. This is Richard Drayson, co-pilot, and this is our robot, VMAX. We like to think it's the most powerful robot that we've seen so far, with the fattest tyres that we can never get, and the biggest motors with the biggest power.
Also, this robot features a very powerful pneumatic ram. It can flip up the opponent and do them real serious damage. Also, if we get turned upside down, we can self-right and carry on the battle.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Terrible with John Fernley and his nephew, Ben Fernley. And Cerberus with Theo Kakufa, Vassal Kakufa, and Alex Wink. And VMAX, Mick Pearce and Rich Drayson.
3, 2, 1.
Well, looks like VMAX wasn't as slow as I thought he was. Let's see if he's got any control in there. The awesome titanium design of Cerberus is sizing up the opposition. Oh, and immediately VMAX gets in a little trouble with Matilda over in the corner patrol zone. Terrible's trying to use that lifting arm to see if he can get any action in there. And oh, Cerberus takes a little ramp jump right up a VMAX and flips himself over. Cerberus looking like a cockroach. You know the drill. If they can't get back on their wheels, they are deemed immobilized, which means the other two would go through and the house bots would come and have their way with them, which is what's going on now. Sergeant Bash and Sir Kill-A-Lot and now Dead Metal are going to try to smack the stink off him. Look at this. Bash is pulling him back, trying to line him up for some inevitable destruction. And there goes the siren for the pit. Well, incredible design, but it didn't do too much good for him while they were upside down. As Dead Metal saw, tries to cut right through that titanium. Wow. It was a good bot. They still might have been in it if they'd have just thought of a self-righting mechanism. They could have taken it all the way to the end. With all them spikes and gnarly teeth and wow. They ain't doing much good now, though, because they're about ready to get buried. As Bash drags it back, and VMAX got a little cold out there, wanted a little heater. VMAX and Terrible are still at it. Meanwhile, Bash is dragging Cerberus over to, you guessed it, the pit. And there it is. Well, the gatekeeper of hell is going to have to go right back there because VMAX and Terrible go through.
This is take no prisoners action. Who will be the last bot standing? Stick around and find out.
Welcome back to Robot Wars. If you'd have just joined us, you would have missed Cerberus, realizing they should have put a self-righting mechanism, but at least they got a good burial. So here's the lineup for the round 2 Eliminator. Terrible will go up against Raizer-Blade, but first up, Hypno-Disc and VMAX.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's VMAX, a nice jumping ramp with Mick Pierce at the controls. And there's Hypno-Disc with their awesome spinning disc, and the Rose Brothers with Pop Bros.
2, 1, activate.
When you got two powerful bots like this, strategy's gonna be everything. Hypno-Disc definitely with the advantage on the weaponry, and it doesn't look like VMAX will survive much longer with a shell like that just flying right up, while those teeth on the side of Hypno-Disc are a force to be reckoned with, as VMAX shakes off the little punishment that it's taken and lost some vital CO2 leaking out of there, which could be their weapon, and that might be all over for them on the attack, as Hypno-Disc goes all the way across the arena and knocks another panel off of VMAX. Wow, VMAX just barely got out of the corner control zone, and now using that wedge design and slams Hypno-Disc right up into the rail. Oh, what a great tussle. Just when you thought they were out of it, they were coming back for more. Hypno-Disc with that spinner is gonna have another run at VMAX. Oh, and VMAX gets out of the way. Good driving by Mick Pierce. But something is looking very immobile about VMAX now. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That was just all the workings that made that thing have a drivetrain. They are history. And now Shunt comes in with a Diamond Edge axe. He's going to let him know that Hypno-Disc is going to go through to the next round. And they're going to make compost out of VMAX. But not before Dead Metal has a slice of turkey. Wow, all the housebots are being so patient with poor VMAX, who is history and ceasing to be and ready to push up the daisies as Dead Metal pushes VMAX across to the inevitable airborne ramp, and he knows it's coming. Oh, not too much air, but didn't matter. That thing was out of there anyway. Well, there you have it. Hypno-Disc again dominating the round, taking out VMAX. Next up, Terrible and Raizer-Blade. And there's Terrible with John Fernley at the controls. And Raizer-Blade with Paul Hart at the controls.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Raizer-Blade off to a quick start. Straight into Terrible. Both of them have similar lifting arm mechanisms for a weapon, although it looks as if Raizer-Blade might have a little more on the backside. I don't think they'll be doing much but dusting with Terrible's tail there. They're all just sizing each other up for the moment. Let's see some damage. Uh-oh, it's barbecue time. Terrible can't put its own tail out, and it can't seem to get off the flames either. Wow, not a great driving tactic there, buddy. As Terrible gets burned to the stake, or maybe the stake's burned, I can't tell. Raizer-Blade's still gonna go in with a chance with that lifting arm. Terrible looks like he's a big old cow, though, because Raizer-Blade doesn't seem to have the power with that lifting arm to do any damage. No lifting whatsoever. And Terrible goes up with that hydraulic arm now. It looks to me like Terrible's got mad cow disease. It hasn't moved for a while as far as the motor drives are concerned. Yeah, they look concerned up there. Well, I'll tell you, if he's immobilized for 30 seconds, the housebots will come in and do the nasty, and that's exactly what's going on now as Dead Metal tries to bury that blade into the side of Terrible. Wow, Terrible was out of it. I wonder what it was that put him out. Maybe he sat too long on the barbecue or something. Meanwhile, the housebots are in there, and Raizer-Blade is still in there too. trying to get some aggression points, although they won't be needed if the house bots are in now. Terrible is out of it. He's still got the lifting arm, but he's not really grabbing anything with it, as Sean has a tussle with Raizer-Blade. If Raizer-Blade had any sense, he'd just stay out of trouble right now, because he's already through to the next round, unless he wants to do some rebuilding in the pits. But Raizer-Blade wants to practice the aggression, I guess. Good move. A lot better move than Terrible will be pulling right now, as Sir Kill-A-Lot drags him across the arena. The audience is screaming, pit! It could be the flipper instead. Let's see if we get any hang time off of Terrible. Yep, flip that burger so don't get too burned on one side. As Dead Metal comes in, Shunt moves out of the way for maybe one more dig with the axe. Well, there, it's all over. So Raizer-Blade goes through against Terrible to meet Hypno-Disc in the final of Heat P.
A shot at greatness hangs in the balance for Hypno-Disc and Raizer-Blade. Don't miss our final battle next.
Welcome back to Robot Wars Grand Champions, where it's finals time of Heat P. So let's recap the road to the finals that both of these bots had to take. First, it was Hypno-Disc ripping shreds off of everybody in the opposition, just showing his dominant prowess here in the robot arena. And then we saw Raizer-Blade first having some pretty good digs at Terrible. They both had the same weaponry. Unfortunately, that driving skill left a lot to be desired for the Terrible team, which means that Raizer-Blade just cruised through. So with only one place left on that semifinals board, only one bot can win it now. Is it going to be Hypno-Disc or Raizer-Blade?
From Banbury and seeded number 2, Hypno-Disc.
Well, we've seen what these guys are capable of as they waggle their fickle finger of fate.
From Cambridge, Raizer-Blade.
And Raizer-Blade hasn't shown us too much so far. They're looking nervous up in the box.
Roboteers, stand by.
Look at the feather duster on Sir Kill-A-Lot.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Well, for Raizer-Blade, I think anything short of a thermonuclear device would be not enough to take on the amazing design of Hypno-Disc. As Hypno-Disc buries that tooth right into the side of Raizer-Blade, immediately ripping some of the skin off of that body like he's done so many times before in this heat. Hypno-Disc is low, great weight drive shafts, driving those wheels, and reasonably impenetrable. Raizer-Blade takes another little dig from Hypno-Disc, and it's looking mighty immobile over there in the corner by the railing. Hypno-Disc bumps him a little to see if he's got any juice left. Wow, Raizer-Blade's been sliced to bits, it looks like. Beautiful breakaway feature on that chassis. I don't think that was part of the design, though, for some reason. Wow, I think Hypno-Disc has hypnotized the boys up in the box. Look at him. Yeah, definitely with that driving skill, they must be thinking about something else. They're definitely not thinking about Robot Wars Grand Champions, as Hypno-Disc just runs over some of the debris that have flown off a Raizer-Blade, and the housebots are moving in. It's time for a bit of carnage, housebot style, as Kill-A-Lot clamps down on Raizer-Blade and drags him to the middle of the arena. As the audience is screaming for the pit, Kill-A-Lot's gonna do his patented front wheelie do-si-do. Well, Raizer-Blade's seen better days. Must have been a disposable Raizer. But I'll tell you, that Hypno-Disc is definitely one to look out for in the finals, because they're definitely making it through here as champions of Heat P, putting themselves last but definitely not least on that semifinals board. As Shut comes in and drags what's little left of Raizer-Blade, lines him up really nicely for the ramp, and Dead Metal comes in to push him evenly on. Let's see if we can get any air time out of Raizer-Blade now. Hypno-Disc backs up on there like he wants to share some air. Ah, he got on just in time. So Raizer-Blade up for the kill, up and over, and back on his feet again. But not good enough. They are history. They're out of there, and Hypno-Disc is looking dominant. There it is. It's all over, folks. Nothing to see here. Move along. And there it is. Hypno-Disc becomes number 16 for the semifinalist board.
Hypno-Disc spins his way into the last spot in our semis. The Sweet 16 is now set. We're one step closer to crowning the new Robot Wars Grand Champion. If you have any fight in you, you do not want to miss the next episode of Robot Wars Grand Champions.
We'll see Steg 2, Chaos 2, Pussycat, Thermidor 2, Willie Big Cheese, Tornado, Dominator 2, and Firestorm 2. And remember, building robots is dangerous and should not be attempted without great care. If you'd like to build your own robot, or for more information, please visit www.robotwars.com.